guys, it's Sarah, and today we're going to do the mid-year book freakout tag. This is something that I do every single year because it's a tag that goes around and everyone starts doing it over the summer. So I'm going to go ahead and do mine today. Now there are quite a few questions here. They're the same every year, so let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first one is the best book that you've read so far this year, which is hard for me because I've read some really, really good books this year, you guys. I do feel like there's one that kind of edges out everyone else, but it was not an easy decision. Oh, yeah. It wasn't an easy, it's fine. It's fine. The Women by Kristen Hanna. This book was phenomenal. I flew through this book, and it is not a small book. And the way that this woman writes puts you right in the middle of whatever story she's telling. And I really felt like I was in the middle of the Vietnam War next to nurses. Like I could almost feel the sand in between my toes, and I could easily picture everything that was happening. And she really kind of led you down some paths you thought you were going down, and then snatched those away and then led you down different paths. And yeah, it was phenomenal. This book is so good, and the best book I've read so far this year. Next question is the best sequel that you have read. And I've read a couple sequels. My favorite, I think, is the Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. I loved this book. This is the second book in the Friend Zone companion series. And I loved the premise of this one because we're following Sloane, who is a character that I really loved in the first book. And Sloane went through some stuff in the first book, which you saw. And so this is the aftermath of it. And what happened and her story and where she was going. I loved this one. I really felt like the two main characters handled things pretty well, I think. There were a couple little like, oh, but no, this is a misunderstanding type thing, but it wasn't anything intentional. So it was definitely something that was like, okay, but the banter between these two was fantastic and the chemistry was real. You could really, really feel it. And I loved it. Okay, the next one is a new release that you are excited to read, but you just haven't read yet. And that's Funny Story by Emily Henry. I love all of Emily Henry's adult romance books, and I have read all of them except for this one because this one just came out. I did get the UK special edition one because, oh my goodness, and I love this cover. The US cover is good too, but this one, I love it because mainly this kind of looks like me and my husband when we have a date night every week. We try our best to do it every single week, and we usually go to a bar and just sit and, eat some food and have some drinks. And this looks like us on our date nights. So it just kind of reminded me of that more so than the US cover. But yeah, so definitely want to read this one. Do I know the premise? Do I care? Nope. Want to read it. Next question is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and that is hands down Somewhere Beyond the Sea by TJ Klune. I cannot wait to get my grabby hands on this book. This one comes out in September. It is a sequel to The House in the Cerulean Sea, which is one of my favorite books of all time. I am going to reread that book before I get my hands on this one. So probably August is when I will reread House in the Cerulean Sea. It's just kind of a good excuse to do that. And I'm very excited. And then I will be picking that one up immediately because I cannot wait to get back with these characters and see what's happening. Next question is the biggest disappointment. And for this one, it's going to be The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer. I did not enjoy this book, which really surprised me. I really thought that this was going to be a Sarah book based on the fact that it's about an author and it involves games and it's loosely like a Willy Wonka type of feel to the book. So I really thought I was going to enjoy this book a lot. It has all the things that, I would love. I did not like it. I gave it 2 stars. Definitely a biggest disappointment. Yeah. So it's fine. Next one is my biggest surprise. And for that one, I'm going to say The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. I really enjoyed this book. I did not expect to. It wasn't a 5-star. I think I gave it 4, but I loved it. I had such a really great time reading this. I ended up reading it on my Kindle, and then I bought a physical copy after that because I was like, I think I'm going to go all in on this author. I already have another book by her, and then she has 2 more coming out this year that I'm planning to pick up for sure. They're on my most anticipated releases, but I definitely want to get more into it. It was a fun time. I really, really liked the characters, and it was very steamy. It was very steamy. And I just had a great time with it. It was fun. And the next question is my new favorite author. This could be either a debut author or a new to me author. So I'm going to pick a new to me author because I just read this book, Sparks Like Stars by Nadia Hashimi. Oh, this book is phenomenal. It was so good. And I was really, really taken aback by how good this book is. Her writing, from the first paragraph, I went, oh, this is going to be really, really good writing. And it is throughout this entire book. The writing is so great. I marked a lot of passages that just really made me go, oh, that's a good line. And I really liked her storytelling. I liked the pacing of it. I loved the story. And I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. So I've already purchased 2 more books by her. She has 2 adult novels, I believe. And then she has some middle grade as well. And I think she has a young adult book coming out later this year as well. So I'm definitely going to be getting more into her, but I've already purchased 2, so it's fine. Okay, next question is your newest fictional crush. I get those occasionally. I'm going to say Alex from Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I loved Alex so much. He is such a charmer, and he's very funny, and I like that he's very no nonsense. You know, he doesn't play games and doesn't allow other people to play games with him. And you really saw that in here. Like if there was a situation he's in the middle of and he didn't like it, he's like, absolutely not. Like he got his butt on a plane and he flew overseas and was like, absolutely not. We're talking this out. Oh, I loved it. I was like, thank you, Alex. But yeah, I loved him. So definitely a crush. Okay. A book that made me cry. Now, we all know that I'm not a crier. It takes a lot. I mean, I don't not ever cry, but I'm not somebody who cries a lot when I'm reading. Not very often. It doesn't happen very much. The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros made me cry. And I mean sobbing. I mean, I had to put the book down and wipe my tears away so I could keep reading because I couldn't see the words anymore. Like, it was 1:00 in the morning and I'm doing this and my poor husband is like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. Like, just this book. Yeah. So I'll say that. Fourth Wing also made me cry. So maybe it's just her. Maybe it's just her. Okay, and then a book that made me happy. We're just going to go back to this one again because I loved reading this book. It made me so happy. It was funny. It was fun. I really liked the characters a lot and just everything about it made me happy. So we're just going to say this one. Okay, the next question is the most beautiful book you either bought or were given, acquired somehow. Can we talk about sprayed edges for a minute? Because I'm going to show you 2. I got these from work. Okay, so the first one is 5 Broken Blades. This is by My Corland. Can we talk? And the top is like this, and the bottom's like this. So all 3 edges are different. I do not know how they do this. It's amazing. The detail is incredible. I don't understand it. Do I need to? Not necessarily. It's totally fine. This is gorgeous. Okay, number 2, Heaven Breaker by Sarah Wolf. You guys. You guys, look at those feathers. I can't. Ask me what these are about. I don't know. I think there's assassins in this one. I don't know about this one. The sprayed edges are actually killing my TBR right now, so I need to knock it off. But yeah. Okay, and then the last question is books you still need to read before the end of the year, which could be anything. However, I'm going to talk about my priorities. I did pick 10 books that are going to be priorities for me for the year, and I've only read 4 so far, which is not bad. We're halfway through the year, and I've read 4 of them, 4 of 10. But still on that list is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, The Alice Network by Kate Quinn, The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna, The World Gives Way by Marissa Levine, Ninth House by Lee Bardugo, and Chain Gang All-Stars by Nana Kwame Adjoin-Brenyah. So those are the 6 books that are still on my priorities for 2024. So those are the ones that I'm going to say, those are the ones I need to read. But they're my priorities. I picked them for a reason. So I'm going to try my hardest to get to them before the end of the year. But 6 books and we have 6 months, like that's easy. That's 1 book a month. So I just need to do that. All right, that is it. That is my mid-year book freakout tag for 2024. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know some of your answers. I would love to know that. What's the best book that you've read this year so far? I want to know that. Like, that's the one I want to know. Leave those answers down below, and I will see you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day. Bye.